Hey guys, it's me, Ben, back again with another quick video review, this time for DiRT Rally on the Xbox One, though of course this is available on the PS4 as well. Now this is brought to us by Codemasters, as many of the games in the DiRT series, I think perhaps all the games in the DiRT series, all the way back to when it was Colin McRae, Codemasters have always been the racing guys. They also did a game I quite enjoyed, I think it was a couple of years ago now, or last season it would have been, Formula 1. Now Codemasters are known for driving games because they make really good driving simulators. They have made all kinds of games, including Grid and other attempts at more arcadey style racing games, and arcadey rally games for that matter as well. Actually, the last couple of DiRT games were actually very arcadey in their nature. But let me tell you this, DiRT Rally, it's not arcadey, it's a sim, and it is hard. You're going to watch me play some really early. I basically first got into the game when capturing this footage, yeah, I crash a lot, and I suck at this game. And even after many more hours of perseverance, I don't feel like I'm particularly amazing. But I'll be honest with you, the driving in this game, the look of the game when you're driving, the car models, it's really nice. I mean, especially considering the quite small team that worked on DiRT Rally. Codemasters isn't the biggest studio here in the UK, and they don't always have the resources like of a Forza or something team to put into the game, and that does show in certain areas, but I'll get to that shortly. But in the driving itself, it feels really impressive. There's plenty of assists you can turn on and off to make it either easier or harder, but even when it's completely easy, the game is still very challenging. It definitely captures that feeling of driving right on the edge, right on the limits of control. That's what makes Rally so enjoyable to watch and to play. You feel like the balancing of the car with the environment, with the physics, everything feels, when you're really nailing it, perfect. It feels absolutely authentic, and obviously because of the authenticity, incredibly hard. So beyond the, I think, quite steep learning curve, which isn't helped by a complete lack of tutorialization in the game, there's a series of videos that get into some incredible depth about rally and how cars work, but it never really actually helps you sort of marry the concept with the practicality of throwing your cars around on these dirt, gravel tracks, ice tracks, tarmac, and actually how to handle them. And I'm guessing that's got a lot to do with the size of the team and not being able to put a lot of time into extraneous sort of modes and tutorials. Now, at the core, there is a sort of a campaign, a series of rallies, all accessed from the main menu, which is a really serviceable but drab and quite ugly kind of basic UI. Clearly, there wasn't a lot of money spare for the UI design and the graphic design, but you know, hey, that's not what we're here for. But it's a shame things are kind of sort of not necessarily the best laid out. There's some multiplayer, but it's all heavily hidden behind RaceNet subscriptions and things like that, which is Codemasters' sort of like racing platform. And once I even did all the subscribing, which took far longer than I liked, it was then a case of it bumped me out to a website to set up a league and join leagues and things like this, and I was like, wow, this is way more effort and way clunkier than it should be. There are sort of online challenges where you fight against people globally on various stages, but I can even tell you at this point, there's not a lot of people playing this game right now. It's really not reached a lot of people in online. But like I said, the driving itself is really nice. Sadly, you know, the load times between stages are pretty protracted, and you certainly can be sat around waiting for loads, which is not the best thing in the world. The one big problem I had, the really big problem I had, was the gating that was going on here. Basically, when you first start the game, you're given a lump sum of currency, enough to buy one of the lower end, cheaper cars, or in this case, as you're seeing here, an old rally car. I was unable to buy the rally cars I remember seeing as a kid and as a fan, driving on the stages, the Subarus and stuff like that. And then money is not easy to come by. You need to complete rallies in high places to make enough money to buy more cars, to play more modes. So it means actually, after the initial purchase of your first car, you're basically locked out of all the other modes until you complete some basic modes with your car to make enough money to continue. And I think that's crazy. So I couldn't do rallycross or hill climb or anything like that until I got further along with the car I was stuck with at the beginning of the game. That's a big problem for me, and it really hampers the experience in my opinion. You know, it's not the cheapest game in the world, but you can tell it was made by a small team, and so I kind of give them credit for that, but it's just not that much fun. It's dry, it's drab, and it's really hard. And like I said, that gating sucks. So I think all in all, I'd have to give DiRT Rally no more than a 6 out of 10.